The guest presented a silver ewer and basin used in a royal hand-washing ceremony. The guest's great-great-great-grandfather had saved King James V's life, leading to the family tradition. Sir Walter Scott organized a ceremonial hand-washing for King George IV in 1822 to honor that story. The silver pieces, including the original rosewater, were used in the ceremony. The ewer, made by renowned silversmith Paul Storr, dates to 1816, while the basin was made in 1821. These pieces were used for King George IV's visit to Edinburgh, which lasted 2 weeks. The tradition continues, with the pieces used for subsequent monarchs, including Queen Elizabeth II. The guest plans to ask King Charles III to continue the tradition in Scotland next year. Without the story, the silver set's market value is estimated.
Talking about current market value without the story, it's a substantial amount of money. We're looking at £30,000 to £50,000.
However, due to the royal connections and tradition, the appraiser valued it higher.
I don't want to frighten you too much. I would put a valuation on this of £100,000 to £150,000.
The guest emphasized that the pieces are priceless as they are essential to the family tradition.
But for us, the value is priceless because it's the only way we can do the service is to continue using the silverware that's always been used for it. So
yeah.
An elegant stick pin, originally believed to be a lorgnette, has a rich history and notable craftsmanship. Inherited from a Metropolitan Opera member, the pin was later converted into a brooch, preserving its elegant design. From the Belle Epoque era, circa 1905 to 1915, the pin showcases a natural pearl and diamonds. Known for its exceptional quality, the pin has about 10 carats of old European-cut diamonds set in platinum. Each diamond weighs around half a carat and ranges in color from F to G with VS clarity. Prized for its exceptional luster and depth, the centerpiece is a remarkable 10mm natural pearl.
There would have been evidence of hinges and tubings and hardware that held the spring. There's no evidence of any of that going on in the back of this.
Okay.
Despite initial beliefs, the pin's lack of hardware confirms it was always a brooch. At auction, the pin is estimated to fetch between.
So if I put this into auction, I would put it in for $12,000 to $18,000.
A vintage Rolex Submariner holds not only time, but a surprising story at an estate sale. A woman brought her father's Rolex watch to an appraiser. Her father had been a pipe fitter and a diver, which explained how he got the diver's watch. The appraiser identified it as a 1950 Rolex Submariner, a stainless steel model. The dial was original, though the band had been replaced, and it featured a rare meters first marking, usually for the European market. It also had pointed crown guards, indicating an earlier version of the model. The woman had no idea of its true value, guessing around $500 to $1,000. The appraiser shocked her by revealing its market value.
I would tell you that this watch in the market today, $12,000 to $15,000.
No way.
Oh, yes, way.
That is so not what I was thinking.
She was stunned by the unexpected appraisal.
This sumac rug features an intricate flat weave technique and classic Caucasian designs with Lesky star medallions. In the late 19th century, Caucasian rugs were highly sought after in the West for their traditional craftsmanship. A brass metal trader, the guest's Swedish grandfather, purportedly acquired the rug in Russia during World War I. Historical accounts hint he might have received it as payment from the Tsar's treasury, possibly for espionage work for Sweden. Despite its age, the rug remains in remarkable condition, retaining its original macrame ends and selvages. A feature valued by collectors, the brown background has corroded due to the use of iron in the dyeing process. Despite some old handmade repairs, the rug boasts charming folk art elements like a man standing on a horse.
They used iron in the process of dyeing, and to a collector, that's not a negative. There's some old repairs that are handmade that could probably be redone better.
Its current fair market value is estimated to be around.
Value as is would be, on a fair market basis, about $1,200.
Okay. It will not be in the trash can anymore.
Perfect.
We'll put it somewhere where it can be enjoyed.
A pair of Michael Jordan sneakers, signed twice and from the 1997 All-Star Weekend, has a compelling history. Michael Jordan gifted these sneakers to Eric Martin, a Pro Bowl wide receiver and Saints Hall of Famer. Dual signatures and provenance significantly influenced the value of these sneakers. Martin gave the sneakers to Dr. Tommy Karam, who then gifted them to the LSU graduate. Jordan, renowned as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, transformed not only the game, but also the sneaker industry. In 1984, Nike, then a distant third in basketball footwear, secured a groundbreaking deal with Jordan's family. Nike offered a percentage of each shoe sale, leading to Air Jordan sneakers earning $126 million in their first year alone. While the precise usage of the sneakers remains unclear, they are estimated to fetch between
You're talking anywhere from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands if they're worn in an actual game.
An old buck of mugshots and records, likely on immigrant encounters. The buck contains photos with names, birthplaces, dates, and arrest reasons. This police mugshot book documented arrests, including immigrants during a time of strict immigration control. Records included physical descriptions and crime details. The book recorded 2,500 criminals for ID and monitored suspicious immigrants.
I am absolutely staggered by the content of this book. I've never seen anything quite like it. This is a police record of people who came through the Cardiff docks.
Yes, that's right.
In early photography, mugshot books were vital for tracking individuals across precincts and cities. Immigration was viewed as a threat, leading to mugshot books and arrests for minor infractions. Mugshot books were standard, but declined with the rise of digital record keeping. Preserving these records helps analyze immigrant experiences and law enforcement tactics.
This is not something you can value. Let's see if we can add value to it by doing justice to the history of some of these people in this volume.
That would be wonderful, really would. Thank you.
Thank you.
A fragile but historically significant book, originally published in 1803, was brought in. Used by Don Juan Filio in the Louisiana Territory, the book, The Digest of Civil Law, was a traveling law book. Jean-Baptiste Filio, known as Don Juan, spread laws and founded Fort Miro, now Monroe, as a key early settler and plantation owner.
A look at the title page, The Digest of the Civil Law. It was published in New Orleans in 1803.
Printed in New Orleans in 1803, the book features both English and French text, reflecting the bilingual nature of the region. Despite its worn and delicate condition, indicative of extensive travel and use, the book remains a valuable piece of history. This book was gifted to the guest by his attorney father, who received it from the last living heir of an estate he managed. Despite its fragility, the book's durable cotton rag paper predates wood pulp paper, which emerged in the 1870s. Evidence of a bookworm is visible via a small hole on one of the pages. The book is valued between
I would put a value at retail of between $2,000 to $3,000 on it.
Right, okay.
A brief note from Oscar Wilde holds not only sentimental value but a potential auction price. Over the years, many rare letters have surfaced, some written by famous figures. A notable example is a small note by Oscar Wilde inviting a friend for supper. This particular letter holds personal significance for its owner, as it was a gift from her husband.
A note that was written by Oscar Wilde inviting one of his chums round for supper, and he lived in Tite Street, which is where I used to live, so this was given to me by my husband.
Oscar Wilde, renowned playwright, poet and author, lived on Tite Street, Chelsea.
Oscar Wilde is one of the greatest playwrights and also a poet and an author and a great letter writer. Yeah. And he lived in Tite Street in Chelsea in London.
Wilde lived in Chelsea between 1885 and 1895, a period during which he created many of his famous works. His witty remarks and bon mots are legendary. Among these were the picture of Dorian Gray, the importance of being earnest, and an ideal husband. Even though the letter is brief, Wilde's association makes it highly valuable. At auction, it's expected to fetch between £2,000 and £4,000.
So even though it's only a tiny note, I would expect this at auction to make between £2,000 and £4,000.
The owner is thrilled, not just because of the value, but due to its sentimental importance.
Today's item is a toy with a truly extraordinary story to tell. The guest grandfather, Corporal Richard Hubert, served as an amphibious vehicle driver in the Royal Army Service Corps.
My grandfather, Corporal Richard Hibbert, he was an amphibious vehicle driver in the Royal Army Service Corps. He did this little picture of his duck.
This toy was made by him for his daughter, the guest mother, when she was just shy of her first birthday, which coincided with D-Day. The toy is known as Manny and the Quack Quacks, a name likely coined by the guest mother. Given his role as a duck driver, Corporal Richard Hubert probably included the ducks in the toy as a personal reference. A duck is a type of amphibious vehicle used by the Allies during World War II. It is a six-wheel drive truck that can operate on both land and water. The story behind the toy is that it was built using scraps from a damaged landing craft.
The story of the toy is that he made it from the wreckage of landing craft. The wood for the wheels he cut from trees, and the wire that connects everything together came from packing cases.
It's deeply moving that he crafted this toy for his cherished daughter while serving on Juno Beach during wartime.
Back home around the time of her first birthday is really very telling and very touching. He was just a normal man and had to do extraordinary things.
A stunning piece of Art Nouveau glassware, originating from Puebla, Mexico, was brought in by a guest. From the 1890s to the early 1900s, the Art Nouveau period featured flowing organic forms inspired by nature. It belonged to the guest wife's great-grandfather, who was an architect.
It's Lotz style, so it would have been made in Bohemia. You've got a great size bowl, you've got these scalloped edges.
Made around the turn of the century, the piece is identified as Lotz style, crafted in Bohemia. With its scalloped edges and dynamic movement within the glass bowl exemplifies the artistry of the period. Adorned with scrolling foliage, the base showcases the exquisite workmanship typical of Art Nouveau. Despite not being a signed Lotz piece, its craftsmanship and style are undeniable. An estimated retail price for this beautiful piece is around...
It's a really pretty piece. I would say retail price, it's around $2,000.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Thank you for bringing it.
Well, thank you. Hey, I'm excited.
This portrait depicts a remarkable dog named Bottoms, who was kept at Captain's Head, a farm in Scotland. Renowned for never losing a race, this distinguished dog was a cherished part of the guest family history. Passed down through generations from the grandfather to the mother, the portrait captures its remarkable legacy. Though undated, this one is believed to be from around 1830. It captures the essence of British animal art from that era, echoing the tradition of great artists like George Stubbs.
And it's in the tradition of the great animal artists such as George Stubbs and continuing through artists such as Gilpin.
Though unsigned and housed in a non-original frame, the painting is a fine example of English animal portraiture. This frame is likely less elegant than the frame it would have originally had. Its value at auction is estimated to be between
Estimated at auction between $12,000 and $18,000.
Good heavens. Unbelievable.
She's come up a winner again?
Yes, she has indeed. Bless her heart.
A prominent member of the Glasgow Boys, a group of Scottish modernist artists from the late 19th century, painting presented by Edward Atkinson Hornell. The painting was passed down from a family friend.
So thank you for joining us today, Alistair, and for bringing, while we're in Glasgow, a painting by one of the Glasgow Boys.
Who had it hanging in her tenement home in Glasgow. Art expert Alistair notes that this piece is from Hornell's most highly regarded period, the 1890s, which followed his influential trip to Japan with George Henry. During this time, Hornell incorporated Japanese printmaking techniques, evident in the upright format, foreshortening, and jewel-like color palette seen in the painting. The piece, featuring girls with balloons, is compared to other rare works from this era, including smaller themes of children at play, such as examples found in the National Galleries. The decorative quality and close focus on the children's faces and the balloons showcase Hornell's stylistic evolution influenced by Japanese art. Alistair highlights the scarcity of paintings from this specific period, adding to its collectible value. A comparable piece, much larger and more detailed, recently sold for nearly £30,000.
More involved painting, that went on to make just shy of £30,000.
Based on this, the expert estimates that the painting could fetch around £10,000 at auction, possibly more depending on the interest from collectors. The participant is pleasantly surprised by the valuation, which significantly enhances the sentimental value of the gift. This discussion illustrates how the painting's artistic significance, historical context, and provenance combine to make it a highly valued work. A ring discovered by a guest while cleaning out their mother's belongings. The ring, found wrapped in a sock in a drawer, was believed to have been given to the guest's mother by their great-grandfather. The appraiser examines the piece and immediately recognizes its quality and historical significance. Made of platinum, the ring dates to around 1915.
It is absolutely superb. Made in platinum.
Okay.
It's about 1915.
Its nearly full-carat diamond features a transitional cut, giving it a softer, more sophisticated appearance than the sharper modern brilliant cuts. The appraiser notes that the diamond has a small natural flaw, known as a glitz, but this does not detract from its beauty. Despite needing a small repair on one of the claws that hold the diamond, the ring is in excellent condition. The appraiser values the piece at an impressive £20,000, much to the guest's surprise.
If you were at auction, this would be in the region of £20,000.
The rarity, craftsmanship, and size of the diamond all contribute to the ring's high value, making it a stunning and valuable heirloom. This unexpected find highlights the importance of family treasures and their potential worth. The story of young boys from Glasgow sent to a farm for education unfolded. These boys, known as home children, were part of a late Victorian philanthropic.
It was a story about a farm that had been set up as an educational facility for young lads. And it looks like the young lads were destitute, taken from Glasgow.
Movement between 1869 and the 1920s, which saw 100,000 children sent from Britain to Canada. The slides captured this effort, showing the boys not only on the farm but also boarding a ship bound for Canada. The program aimed to give destitute children a new start, but it raised questions about the lack of choice these boys had and the impact on their families. The boys became a significant part of Canada's growing population, though many of their descendants are unaware of this connection due to the shame surrounding the home child label. The slide collection was later acquired by Laurie Oshetsky, president of a Canadian charity dedicated to helping descendants trace their family history. These slides, praised for their exceptional quality, are unique in their clarity and historical significance. Through this collection, 15 boys have been identified, including Charles Gillis Lennox, who came to Canada in 1912 and served in World War I. Despite tracing his lineage, it appears Lennox had no surviving descendants. The collection continues to play a crucial role in uncovering the lives of these home children and connecting families to their past.
Showcased today is a stunning lamp. The guest received the gift from a friend. It's a magnificent handle lamp dating back to circa 1920. The lamp is a classic example of the reverse painted style. This technique allows the painting to be viewed through the material, creating a beautiful and delicate appearance. Henry Bedigi's design expertise shines through in this captivating lamp. He dedicated many years to Handel, leaving a legacy of captivating lamp designs. At auction, this remarkable piece would command a considerable price of
probably would put a value of $12,000 to $15,000 on it in a retail shop.
Very good. I'm very pleased.
The photographed Spinner and Foreman in Georgia Cotton Mill is a gelatin silver print from 1908. It was taken by Louis Hine, a prominent documentary photographer. Hine began freelancing as the National Child Labor Committee staff photographer around 1904 to 1905. This image captures a young girl overshadowed by a foreman amidst immense and dangerous machinery. Hine's work documented harsh child labor conditions along the East Coast from Maine to Florida. His powerful photographs humanized child labor, raising public awareness of the widespread issue. This poignant image of child labor is a significant historical document and testament to Hine's work. Hine's child labor photographs are highly valued, fetching anywhere from
Hine's child labor photographs can bring anywhere from $2,000 to upwards of $60,000 at public auctions.
Originally belonged to the guest's father's great aunt and was then passed down to the guest.
When she died, it came to my grandmother, and when my grandmother died, it came to my father, and he has since given it to me.
And you know the artist?
Rodin.
The sculpture was created around the early 20th century by Auguste Rodin. Rodin was a French sculptor widely considered the founder of modern sculpture.
He was born in 1840, and he studied quite extensively, and the early part of his career he actually did decorative sculptures and designed various useful objects and worked in the studio of another artist named Albert Carrier-Belleuse.
The piece is titled Eternal Spring, and near the base we can see the sculptor's signature. On another side of the item, it is inscribed with F. Barbedien Fondeur, indicating the foundry. F. Barbedien was a French metalworker and manufacturer, well known as a bronze founder. Another interesting feature of this sculpture is the letters and numbers used for inventory control at the time it was made. As an authentic piece by Rodin, this item is estimated to be worth.
It could be worth $5,000, maybe even $10,000 at auction.
Even for a non-authenticated.
Right. Even for as a really high quality reproduction.
On display today are captivating images of the Gast father and his World War II comrades. Corporal Ron Cross, the Gast father, was a Royal Engineer with the 2-6 Assault Squadron. He was among the troops who landed on Juno Beach on D-Day. D-Day refers to June 6, 1944, the day of the Allied invasion of Normandy, France, during World War II. It was the largest seaborne invasion in history, with over 156,000 troops landing on 5 beaches in Nazi-occupied France. Corporal Ron Cross served on a Churchill tank, a heavily armored British war machine designed for close combat and infantry support.
And he said he was the guy that used to go out and come back with eggs and chickens. He said he's not sure if he got them legally or they managed to take a camera from a German prisoner and take these pictures.
These photos show his tank crew, taken shortly after D-Day.
He was in a Avery, which is a Churchill tank modified for the Royal Engineers.
Camera confiscated from a German soldier was used to snap these photos. The Gast father, Ron, and his companions were nicknamed Ron and his Merry Men.
They managed to take a camera from a German prisoner and take these pictures. They were called Ron and his Merry Men. They all lived together and they were like brothers, he said, in the end.
In 1930, her parents married and moved to Alaska, living with artist Sidney Lawrence. Her mother gave him rags for his paintbrushes. The view was of Cook's Inlet from Anchorage to Mount Sistina. Lawrence, a renowned American artist, is known for his Alaskan wilderness scenes.
And my mother used to give him rags for his paintbrushes.
He studied at the Art Students League there, and then he went off and lived at an artist colony in Cornwall in England.
This particular painting captures the serene beauty of a coastal scene at sunset. The sky is painted in a soft pastel with hues of pink, orange, and blue, reflecting the calmness of the water below. A mountain range silhouettes against the glowing horizon, adding depth. The brushwork is detailed and fluid, showing Lawrence's skill in capturing nature's grandeur and tranquility. The scene's grandeur was evident, and the appraiser valued the item.
I think if you were going to sell this in a retail gallery, it might bring as much as $35,000 or $40,000.
Wow. My mother would be so proud.
This Gast purchased the showcased bronze figure at a garage sale about 20 years ago.
It has gilt, but it's worn off. There's a missing arm. I thought it was so beautiful, I didn't mind the damage.
The piece is a seated figure of Buddha, adorned with beautiful drapery, ribbon work, and reticulated hands. Upon further inspection, there are characteristics indicating it was made in the early 15th century. Although there is no imperial seal on this piece, we can tell that it is one of Chinese origin, judging by its qualities and design. Its base has been replaced over time. It would have originally been in the bronze form of a lotus, but now is wooden. A hand and an arm are missing from this piece, and the gildings have worn off over time. Items like this one are very popular among collectors and highly desirable. At auction, this piece of Chinese artifact, in this condition, would be worth.
Very conservative retail price would be $100,000 to $125,000.
A set of 1951 science fiction lobby cards was bought by the Gast in the early 1970s for around $40. Lobby cards, used to promote movies in the 50s and 60s, were typically displayed on marquees to attract viewers. Each set of these cards consisted of 8 distinct pieces, showcasing various scenes from the film. Each set included a title card and 7 scene cards, all of which are present in this collection.
You mentioned that they are lobby cards. They made lobby cards even before the 50s. They were making them for many years. And you're right, they come in sets of 8.
A time fraught with anxieties about atomic power, the cards showcase scenes from a film released during the Cold War era. They also captured the film's portrayal of otherworldly beings, reflecting the fears and fascinations of the time. This film's iconic status and the lobby cards' excellent condition enhance their value. Given their rarity, especially as a complete set, and their excellent condition, the set could fetch between...
So as a group, at auction, I would expect them to sell between $10,000 and $12,000
well, I think
for the set.
Yes.
And I love them.
Oh, yes.
This guest brought a Louis XIV style clock, probably dating back to around the turn of the 20th century, made from a solid chunk of white onyx. It was owned by the guest's grandfather, who operated the Four Spirit Mine in Four Spirit, Montana, a prominent silver mine. Originally purchased from Jacquard Jewelry in St. Louis, Missouri, the clock holds deep familial significance. Bestowing it with a luxurious and substantial look, it features fire gilds and brass elements. According to experts, the clock's mechanism appears to be crafted by the French clockmaker Martin.
But it was retailed by this jewelry store that's listed on the dial. It has fire gilt brass elements to it, and it is very, very heavy. And you've carried this around, haven't you?
Yes, 20 years.
An antique dealer from Postal, Montana, sent a blank check to the guest parents through an attorney. This effort was to purchase the clock as a special gift for Elizabeth Taylor's birthday. With the current auction dynamics, the clock is projected to fetch...
Today's auction world, it would probably fetch $15,000 to $20,000.
Oh, great, great.
A beautifully crafted tea caddy, made around 1810, showcases exquisite craftsmanship from the Federal period. Created by an ancestor for his bride-to-be, this piece features a sarcophagus form, a neoclassical style popular in that era. Complemented by darker mahogany on the top, the caddy is adorned with flame mahogany on the front and sides. It is supported by elegant Chippendale-style carved legs, a rare detail that adds to its uniqueness. Showcasing personal and skilled craftsmanship, the caddy's interior bears the bride's maiden name in elegant penmanship. Featuring a charming scene, possibly a wedding or gathering, the top panel adds sentimental value to the piece. This tea caddy reflects its owner's social status through fine craftsmanship and luxurious materials.
I don't know. It could be. I really don't know anything about the scene.
Yep.
It just looks like almost like a picnic scene because it's got the fiddler and the...
A distinctive style and historical significance give it a current auction value estimated between...
Today's market in an auction setting, we'd be looking at in between $3,000 to $5,000.
Okay.
I think if we went back...
Featured today is an original duck from the classic American television show, You Bet Your Life.
One of two original ducks that were used on the TV show You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx.
After an 8-year back and forth, the guests successfully purchased this treasure from a small memorabilia store.
A tag around its nose saying how much the secret prize was worth, whether it was $100, $200, $300, or $500.
You Bet Your Life was a popular American television game show that aired from 1950 to 1961, hosted by Groucho Marx. The show featured contestants competing to win cash prizes by answering trivia questions, with a focus on humor and witty banter.
And then one day I went in the store and he wasn't there. And I said, "Where's my friend?" I go, "I always negotiate with him on the duck." And she said, "I'm so sorry, it was my son, he passed away."
The show was known for its light-hearted and entertaining format and remains a classic of early American television. This is a unique handmade set prop, commissioned from a professional prop shop or artist.
I've owned it since then.
And what else do you know about its participation in the show?
It was one of two. I believe this was the backup duck, and he also mentioned that it was used one time at one of Groucho's birthday parties.
Considering its fragile nature, it's astonishing how well it has survived over the years.
It's very impressive how it's held up over the years because of its fragile construction. It's paper mache. It does have some wear, but I don't see any damage. There are no cracks or fractures. Just a couple of feathers are missing.
Given its excellent condition, it is expected to fetch an auction estimate of...
A piece such as this, we would expect at auction to sell for somewhere between $8,000 to $12,000.
A rice wine bottle, the pride of a father's drinking collection, stands out for its beauty and historical significance. Though initially believed to be Chinese from the 18th century, this exquisite piece holds a different origin. It's a fine example of Japanese Hirado porcelain.
It's to about 1840 to 1860.
Is Hirado a period or
It's
is it
a style of porcelain.
Crafted between 1840 and 1860, its true heritage adds an intriguing twist to its history. Hirado porcelain is distinguished by its pale blues on a creamy white background. It features a restrained decoration, often leaving ample white space for a minimalist aesthetic. Its elegance and historical value make it a standout piece in any collection. This cherished bottle, a testament to the father's keen eye for unique and valuable items, is now valued between
This piece today would have a value of $1,500 to $2,500.
A painting by Clyde Aspavig, an artist known for his contemporary Western art, was acquired over 30 years ago. Although the guest attended school at the same time as Aspavig in Montana, they did not know each other well. However, the painting titled Snow Ridge and created in 1979 caught the guest's eye. An oil on canvas, the painting features Aspavig's signature and date in the lower right-hand corner. A tag on the back, unnoticed by the owner until recently, provides the painting's title and a price of $5,000. Aspavig, born in 1951, has dedicated his career to painting the untouched landscapes of the western U.S. Over the years, he became a renowned contemporary painter of western landscapes, with sought-after work in galleries. Never appraised before, the painting now holds a replacement value of
This painting currently would have a replacement value of $50,000.
That's nice.
Before us is a stunning example of artistic excellence. For 3 generations, this painting has remained a treasured possession of the guest family.
At some point when I was visiting my aunt, I said, if you ever move or decide that this painting isn't going to live with you anymore, I would like it.
Dating back to approximately 1920, this painting is a true treasure. This painting's creator is a lesser-known artist with fewer than 20 auction records prior to 2013. A faint trace of an unidentified label from New York is still discernible on the back of the painting.
The artist is from Philadelphia, but it's an artist about whom not a great deal is known, and an artist who has fewer than 20 auction records as of 2013.
The creator of this piece is identified as Frank H. Desch.
Part of the artist's name is on there.
Oh, really?
And that is something that directly corroborates with the signature at the lower right.
Yeah.
His style was marked by a pronounced impressionist sensibility.
And his style is very much rooted in the Impressionists. It's very much, although he trained under Hawthorne and Chase, 2 real luminaries of American 19th century painting.
This exceptional painting has aged remarkably well, retaining its original frame and boasting a pristine condition, giving it a substantial auction value of
The painting today, if offered at auction, would probably bring between $25,000 to $40,000.
Wow.
The guest grandfather was an art professor at Pratt Institute for 40 years. She found 3 Pullman posters at her grandmother's house. Posters feature women trout fishing, sailing, and skiing. The appraiser identifies the posters as examples of early girl power themes. These are dated 1934. These showcase a strong Art Deco style and are popular among collectors. The trout fishing and sailing posters are estimated at
The trout fishing piece would probably bring between $1,500 and $2,000.
Wow.
The same goes for the sailing piece, about $1,500 to $2,000.
Skiing poster is exceptionally valuable due to the current market trends. It's valued at an estimated
Would sell for between $4,000 and $6,000.
Oh my gosh, okay.
The entire collection is now worth an astonishing $8,000 to $10,000. An astonishing 1972 discovery unearthed Ben Milam's will, a key figure in Texas independence. Found in a courthouse basement in Nacogdoches, Texas, this historic document was on the verge of being burned.
Looking for papers of history, and this, along with other boxes, was about to be burned.
Folded and unsleeved, the will dates back to November 8, 1834. Ben Milam, renowned for his contribution to the Texas Revolution, penned this will about a year before his death. The document begins with a philosophical reflection before Milam divides his possessions and lists witnesses. This was just a year before Milam was killed on December 7, 1835, while on courier mission for the Texan Revolutionary Army. Milam's rallying efforts significantly bolstered the Texas fighters, though he did not live to see their victory. Valuing such a rare and historically significant item is challenging, but estimates place it between
I would probably estimate this item at about $30,000 to $50,000, and probably thinking that we would exceed that estimate.
A Françoise Gallot painting bought 40 years ago for $125 now stands out for its artistic and historical significance. Françoise Gallot, born in 1921, was taught by her mother to incorporate mistakes into painting. At 21, Gallot met Picasso, becoming his lover from 1944 to 1953, and his abstract cubist style significantly influenced her work. Despite Picasso's influence, Gallot's lines remained more organic and less angular, leading to her unique style. Titled Yellow Flower, this painting is signed F. Gallot and has a gallery label from Dalzell Hatfield in Los Angeles. Adding to its intrigue, the painting features yellow flowers and other ambiguous elements.
And later on, she kind of developed her own style. Here we can see the yellow flowers that are referred to in the title.
With renewed interest in Gallot's work, her pieces have begun to fetch higher prices. Reflecting Gallot's emergence from Picasso's shadow, this work on paper could retail for as much as
If this were to be offered in a retail gallery, it might sell for as much as $20,000.
Really? Oh, you're kidding.
a stunning Italian bracelet crafted by Marcassini around 1870 exemplifies the archaeological style. Its intricate filigree, granulation, and pyramid-cut lapis details showcase the meticulous craftsmanship of the era. This piece stands as a testament to the elegance and artistry of Italian jewelry design. Inside, the maker's mark reads Marcassini, Firenze, and Rome, indicating its origins in both Florence and Rome. This exquisite piece entered the family during World War II through a famous Hungarian opera star and her violinist boyfriend.
The pyramid-cut lapis, the wonderful filigree and granulation, which was typical of the archaeological style.
While she was in camps, he used gold to forge papers. After the war, they reunited, but struggled to find work. Performing illegally, they secretly saved enough to buy this bracelet at a museum auction. This stunning bracelet's current value is estimated to be between
Well, what would you say if I told you that it was worth between $8,000 and $10,000?
I would be very happy to know that.
The guest's late husband's aunt's collection included the 1773 Parkinson's Journal of the Endeavour. This journal documents Captain Cook's first voyage around the world, which began in 1768 and lasted until 1771. One mission of this voyage was to explore the great unknown southern continent, now known as Australia. Sidney Parkinson, an artist and botanist, documented life and compiled native vocabularies.
And his job on the voyage was to make drawings and observations of botanical life, native life.
Unfortunately, Parkinson died of dysentery on the return journey in 1771. Stanfield Parkinson published his brother's papers after being outraged by the lack of credit in the official account. In 1773, both Cook's and Parkinson's versions were published, the latter notable for its Maori warrior illustration. Despite some condition issues, this journal has an auction value of
I would put an auction value of this piece at $6,000 to $9,000.
Oh my.
Yes,
Oh
this
my.
is a very nice
Wow.
piece.
a magnificent 18th century English Georgian ewer, monogrammed EH, testifies to its rich historical significance. This monogram represents Eliza Hungerford, the guest ancestor from 6 generations back.
And she is a great grandmother.
Sixth grades.
Sixth grades, long way back. So that's kind of neat.
Made in London in 1771, this piece likely came into the family's possession around Eliza's marriage. Charles Wright, a renowned London silversmith of the period, crafted the ewer. Unlike Wright's usual coffee pots and teapots, this ewer, likely paired with a rinsing basin, would have graced a sideboard. Enhancing its sculptural and English aesthetic, it features a rare form with a distinct lion's mask under the spout. A photograph shows the ewer displayed in the great-great-grandfather's house, highlighting its family importance. At auction, this unique piece could command a price of...
I would think a collector would be very happy to pay $10,000 for it.
Wow.
So it has more than sentimental value.
Oh, definitely, but it won't be leaving these hands for a long
Very
time.
Very good.
It's going to go on to my kids.
A violin, inherited from a late uncle who died young in an automobile accident, has been passed down through the family. It was kept in storage for many years before being willed to the guest by her mother. Dusty and unplayable, with a missing bridge and loose strings, the violin has not been used for decades. This violin bears a label indicating it was made by Michael Andreas Partel in Vienna in 1741. Partel was a distinguished violin maker of his time, and the instrument aligns with the known characteristics of his work. Born in 1704 and deceased in 1788, Partel was influenced by the Amati family from Cremona, Italy. Supporting its authenticity and age, the violin's varnish shows genuine wear.
It was modeled after the work of the Amati family from Cremona. The most famous violin makers were from the city of Cremona, Italy. They influenced everything.
Despite its current state, the violin holds a retail value of about...
In the retail world, in a violin shop, this is a violin that has a value of probably $5,000.
Wow, that's great. And lots of sentimental value as well.
A remarkable student's cabinet is made by the Parke Davis Company. This company is still in business today and dates back to around 1890 to 1900. A gentleman gave it to the guest grandmother, having inherited it from his uncle, a doctor. With plans to discard the tins and repurpose the box for storage, the doctor never used it. Each filled with various medical roots, herbs, and natural remedies, the cabinet holds 288 small sample tins.
The fact that it survived is amazing. I've seen these tins from time to time at flea markets, in boxes, in medical bags.
Remarkably, only 3 tins are missing from this extensive collection. Mostly full and organized in graduated drawers, the tins are in excellent condition. Individually, these tins are worth $5 to $20 each. The complete set is valued between...
Because it's complete, excellent condition, I would give a rough guesstimate of $5,000 to $7,000 for the whole kit and caboodle.
Cool.
Great thing to find in the trash.
Yes.
A lamp, gifted to the guest mother by a friend who thought it might be a Fulper, has been a treasured family heirloom for years. Produced by Fulper in Flemington, New Jersey around 1910 to 1915, this lamp reflects art pottery. Fulper shifted from crafting stoneware to creating art pottery, showcasing their innovative glazes during this period. Known for its beautiful glazes, including flambe and crystalline types, Fulper created a variety of vessels and lamps. While lamp bases were common, lamp shades, especially those made with leaded slag glass, are much rarer. With well-matched glazes and excellent condition, the lamp's rare shade and base make it highly valuable. This lamp's unexpectedly high worthiness and rarity enhance its sentimental significance. At auction, it could easily ask for a price range between
easily $10,000 to $15,000.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. Oh my goodness!
A unique puzzle jug, also known as a puzzle bottle, was originally bought from Germany by a tailor named Myers.
And he had a tailor shop in Chicago, and he exhibited this at the Columbian Exposition of 1893.
This jug, depicting a tailor shop, was showcased at the 1893 Columbian Exposition in Chicago. Myers later moved to Belvedere, where the jug was kept by others after his passing. When the tailor shop closed, the Guest family acquired the piece for $5. Crafted with prefabricated parts and assembled using delicate tools, This jug features an uncommon subject matter. It stands apart from typical religious or Masonic scenes due to its unique representation. Dating to around 1893 and featuring a Chicago shop label, the jug is a notable piece of American folk art. Reflecting its uniqueness, its value is estimated to be between
conservatively somewhere in the $1,000 to $1,500 range. It's a great piece, and it's unique, and I just love it, and I'm excited that you brought it in.
Inherited from a great aunt, the painting by Julian Onderdonk features his acclaimed South Texas landscapes. Signed by Onderdonk, the painting showcases his unique style, influenced by William Merritt Chase and the plain art technique. A hallmark of Onderdonk's work, this technique captures the essence of the landscape rather than the intricate details. Born in San Antonio to an artist father, Onderdonk returned to his hometown in 1909 after studying in New York. Particularly those of bluebonnets, his paintings became highly regarded in Texas. He also maintained connections with New York, which helped establish his reputation both locally and nationally. Highlighting Onderdonk's talent for capturing Texas's vast beauty, the painting depicts a rider on a road. Its value in a gallery setting could reach between
It might bring as much as $75,000 or even as much as $100,000 in Texas. So I think you have a very nice picture.
Goodness. Thank you.
A collection of Native American keto bracelets, or bogards, showcases intricate craftsmanship. These bracelets, traditionally worn on the left wrist, protect against the bowstring's impact. They are crafted from silver and turquoise, with some featuring jets and corals. It includes pieces from the Navajo and Zuni tribes, dating from the early 20th century to the 1960s or 70s. Gifted by the owner's mother, the collection began with a significant bracelet, which started their interest in ketos.
Maybe around 1910, 1920, and I think they go right up to about the 1960s or 70s.
Okay.
They are bogards, and so you would wear it on your left wrist if you were right-handed. When you pull back the bowstring and let the arrow fly.
Likely repurposed from other items, the leather straps are made from commercial leather. While the more recent pieces display individual stamped elements, the oldest bracelets feature hand-stamped designs. Overall, the collection is estimated to be worth between
Altogether, I think we're looking at about $6,500, $7,000 worth of Gatos.
Wow.
It's a terrific collection. They're just great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for bringing them.
True masterpiece and survivor among stringed instruments stands proudly before us. This incredible instrument was passed down to the guest husband from his grandfather, as he was the sole family member who knew how to play it. The guitar is the illustrious Fender Stratocaster, a highly valued instrument in the music world.
It's what Eric Clapton called a pure rock and roll machine. You've got an original case with it. That first sort of line of inquiry is, of course, the serial number on the back plate of the guitar.
It comes complete with its original case, highly desirable feature. Although the serial number on the back provides some information, the neck joint holds the key to the precise dating, with pencil or stamped details at the fingerboard's end.
An outfit like this is quite amazing to survive in this kind of condition for such a long period of time. The amp is also from 1959.
The omission of writing on this neck is attributed to Fender's temporary halt in date writing, sparked by an employee's prank of writing profanities on necks between 1959 and 1960.
There is a production order number. It is I-E, I standing for the date 1959, and E for the month of May.
This guitar's condition and quality suggest a date of circa 1959, based on a detailed inspection. Given its remarkable state of preservation, this extraordinary piece would command a significant price at auction, estimated to be
complete outfit would be easily $25,000.
Wow.
Well, thank you for bringing it in.
Thank you for looking it over and telling us.
2 albums of animation work from Disney Studios offer a unique glimpse into early animation techniques. Painted by a former Disney inker who worked at the studio in 1939, the first album features animation cells inked. This artist contributed to iconic films such as Pinocchio, Fantasia, Bambi, and Sleeping Beauty. Each artist inked and painted 35 to 65 cells daily, maintaining strict timing while avoiding distractions by listening to radios.
The thing about these is you can see how the movie was really made. It's an interesting historical book to actually look through the whole book and to be able to see how much work is involved.
In the second album, practice tests and animation drawings from Snow White and Pinocchio are showcased. Though trimmed, these early drawings provide insight into the meticulous process behind Disney's classic animations. With Disney's shift to computer animation, these hand-inked cells and drawings have gained historical significance. Combined, the collection's value, including the cells and the drawings, is estimated at
Cells and the drawings, the whole collection itself is worth about $15,000 to $20,000.
Oh, that sounds good.
A fan of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest acquired an autographed program for around $20 to $30. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is notable for being one of only 3 films to win the Big 5 Academy Awards.
Questions about how much I love the movie. What am I going to do with the program? She told me she had the hat, and she wanted it to go to someone who really enjoyed the movie.
Intrigued by the buyer's passion for the movie, the seller revealed she also had the iconic hat from the film. She wished it to go to someone who truly appreciated its significance. Initially skeptical, an expert confirmed the hat's authenticity. Provenance is confirmed by the accompanying letter, which holds the real value. Without this letter, proving the hat's authenticity would have been challenging. This stunning hat's estimated auction value would be between
I would estimate it for no less than $4,000 to $6,000.
I didn't expect that.
The guest inherited a mysterious box from her collector uncle. Intrigued by the box, the guests searched through their uncle's old papers for clues, leading to the discovery of the box's significance. The appraiser identifies the box as a mahogany traveling liquor case from the Mid-Atlantic region.
This is a mahogany traveling liquor case or cellarette, whatever you want to call it. And according to the information that you gave me, your uncle...
It has yellow pine in the secondary woods. The box's style suggests it was crafted by renowned cabinet maker John Shaw. It has 6 of the original 8 bottles and original tray, all in wonderful condition. The mirror in the back might have been done by the Steigel Company. The appraiser astonishes the guest by valuing the box.
I would say, without a doubt, that it would probably bring $8,000 to $10,000.
Yes, yes!
The box is now worth a staggering $10,000 to $15,000. Crafted by Weissenborn around 1920, this guitar features premium Hawaiian koa wood with a vibrant, flamey appearance. Bought for $100 by the guest's great-grandfather, the guitar was used by his great-aunt for radio broadcast. Designed for Hawaiian music and played with a slide, this instrument boasts grade 4 craftsmanship. It features intricate rope bindings and alternating light and dark wood pieces. Weissenborn, renowned for his meticulous wood selection, greatly enhanced the guitar's aesthetic and value. Despite the decline of Hawaiian music with metal resonator guitars, this Weissenborn guitar remains exceptional. Its high-grade wood and beautiful oil varnish, with a desirable craquelure, enhance its exceptional value.
Unfortunately, shortly after he made these, I don't know if you've ever seen the metal resonated guitars.
I have.
Made by National and Dobro Company.
Okay.
Given its excellent condition and premium craftsmanship, the guitar is valued at approximately
I think this one is worth about $4,500 because the condition is so good, because the wood selection is so nice and flamey.
a Federal tilt-top mahogany candle stand with a diamond-shaped top from North Shore, Massachusetts. Likely from the Salem area, it was crafted between 1790 and 1810. Passed down from the guest mother in the 1930s or 40s, this table from their main farm is in remarkable condition. Early settlers before the Revolutionary War, the family was forced back to Boston before resettling in Demarius-Cotta, Maine. The table's distinctive features include its wonderful diamond-shaped top and rich dark brown color. It also boasts original cabinet maker's scribe marks that highlight its craftsmanship. Despite minor issues, like a broken block and screw holes, the piece remains a valuable antique.
There has been some condition issues. You can see at one point it looks as though the block broke out.
Right.
Not the end of the world.
Never appraised before, it's estimated to fetch between
If this piece were to come to auction, in today's market, I'd estimate it at $3,000
to $5,000.
What, really? That's fantastic.
This weathered letter reveals a soldier's final wartime thoughts. A family heirloom, it has spanned 5 generations. The letter was penned by the guest husband's great-great-great-grandfather. It captures a pivotal moment and was written on April 9, 1865. This date marks General Lee's surrender to the Army of Northern Virginia. For this soldier, it signaled the war's end. The letter offers a personal glimpse into a nation-changing event.
Which is the day that General Lee surrendered, the Army of Northern Virginia. Obviously, the war goes on for a little while longer, but for him, this is the end of the war.
Thus, this tangible link to the past carries an auction estimate of?
I would say at auction, I would put an estimate of $300 to $500 on it.
Okay.
Well, it's a great letter.
A Herman Miller desk, designed by George Nelson in 1945 through 1946, originally belonged to the guest grandparents. Known for its contemporary design, the desk exemplifies Nelson's modern aesthetic and timeless appeal. George Nelson, post-World War II, became Herman Miller's head designer, boosting their modern furniture reputation. Nelson's design philosophy of form and function is evident in the desk. It features practical elements like a file drawer, a typewriter drawer, and a leather writing surface. Despite the desk's excellent condition, one drawer appears to have been replaced, which slightly affects its value. Nonetheless, the modern design community places less emphasis on such replacements. The desk, well preserved by the grandparents, would likely fetch between
At auction, this piece would probably bring between $5,000 and $7,000.
Okay. Oh.
And it's also in very good condition. Your grandparents took very good care of it.
Behold this ceramic titan that echoes the story of American craftsmanship. It was made by the Red Wing Pottery. Red Wing Pottery emerged in Minnesota during the 1870s and focused on practical wares. However, in the 1920s, they ventured into art pottery. This massive vessel showcases Red Wing's ambitious scale.
Red Wing Pottery started in Red Wing, Minnesota in the 1870s. They made primarily utilitarian ware.
It stands as a testament to the company's versatility. The crock represents both utility and artistry. What do you think that this piece that embodies Red Wing's enduring legacy in American pottery is worth? From a cherished childhood collection to a whimsical treasure, this guest intuition about these figures proves correct as we uncover their 1930s origin. The long, pointy-nosed Mickey Mouse figurines are vintage characters. Plus, unlike typical ones, they weren't made in Japan.
It is old. It's somewhere in the range of 1930. If you look at Mickey's face, it's a long, pointy-nosed Mickey. The interesting thing about this is it's not made in Japan, which a lot of the material was. This is better.
Fully complete, this set is a collector's dream. They're also in pristine condition, with no chips or breaks found on them. Such impeccable preservation elevates this band from mere nostalgia to a prized collectible. As such, this harmonious piece of Disney history is valued at...
You're looking at somewhere between $900 and $1,200.
Wonderful.
Thank you for bringing them in.
Wonderful.
Acquired in the 1940s by a grandmother, the painting is a notable work by renowned Filipino artist Fernando Amorsolo. The 1948 painting showcases Amorsolo's mastery of light and brushwork with fruit pickers under a tree and intricate clothing highlights. Born in Manila in 1892, Amorsolo studied art in both Manila and Spain. He later lived briefly in New York, where he was influenced by Impressionist techniques. Returning to the Philippines in the 1920s, he established his studio. He became celebrated for his genre and nature scenes, capturing the vibrant light and heat of the Filipino landscape. This period is especially valued as it predates Amorsolo's later, less distinct works caused by declining eyesight.
With these fruit pickers under the tree, and the highlight on this lady's scarf and on her shoulders here to show again the wonderful use of light that he was a master. Yeah.
Originally appraised at $4,000 with a $2,000 offer, the painting's true value is now estimated at...
This is a major work, and at an auction it would be estimated in the range of $25,000 to $35,000.
Oh, man.
An antique toy handed down from an aunt and mother who began collecting in the 1940s has garnered significant interest. This toy was made by Gong Bell Manufacturing Company from East Hampton, Connecticut. It is a nursery rhyme toy known for its bell action. As it moves, a bell rings, earning the name Bell Toy.
And the reason it's called Bell Toy is because it had a bell action. As you moved it, the bell rings. This one is called Ding Dong Bell. Pussy's Not in the Well, off the nursery rhyme.
Titled Ding Dong Bell, Pussy's Not in the Well, the toy features the nursery rhyme inscribed on it. It is in excellent condition, retaining its original polychrome paint, and entirely made of cast iron. This antique's pristine condition and charming history make it a prized collectible. On the open market today, it holds an impressive value estimated between
On the open market is worth $3,500 to $4,500.
You're kidding.
No.
Had no idea. That's great. Thank you.